Jefferson County Court at Law Number 2 is now in session with the special review docket on today's date of July 21st of 2022. First cases that we have is titled The State of Texas versus Stephen Earl Jones. Stephen Earl Jones has 4 cases. First case is cause number 328684. Second case is cause number 329190. Third case is cause number 329996. And the fourth case is cause number 330836. Again, all cases are styled the state of Texas versus Stephen Earl Jones or Stephen E. Jones. Mr. Jones, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Jones, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Jones, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Jones, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Jones?
I'm doing just well.
That's good. Mr. Jones, you're here represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney John Macy. Attorney Macy, how are you doing?
I'm fine, Your Honor. Thanks for asking.
The state is represented by Attorney Ray Shearer. Attorney Shearer, how are you doing?
Very good, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Jones, well, Mr. Macy, do you waive a record in Mr. Jones' cases?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Jones, in cause number 190, I have before me a document that is titled Information. This information alleges that on or about April 19 of 2020, while you were operating a motor vehicle in a public place in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated. Mr. Jones, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Jones, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No content, sir.
Now, Mr. Jones, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay. Now, Mr. Jones, I have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. This document is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. On page 2 of this document, there are a set of initials, SJ, that are on a line next to a box that says checked nolo contendere, which means no contest. Mr. Jones, did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of this same document, Mr. Jones, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Mr. Jones, did you also sign this document?
Yes, sir.
On the next document, Mr. Jones, that's titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, at the bottom of this document, there's also a signature above a line that is titled Defendant. Did you also sign this document?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this same document, Mr. Jones, there are 2 boxes that are checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Jones, I have another document here on paper that is titled Discovery Certification. There's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Did you also sign this document?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Jones, before you sign and initial all of these documents that I have just mentioned to you, did your attorney, Mr. Macy, go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir. He went over all of them.
And did you read and understand everything that he went over?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Jones, well, state, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1, the misdemeanor plea admonishment. Also have before me in the court's file, States 2, the probable cause affidavit. State, would you like to offer States 1 and 2?
Yes, Your Honor, State would.
Any objections, Mr. Macy?
No objection, Your Honor.
No objection. States Exhibits number 1 and 2 will be admitted. Court will also take judicial notice of States Exhibit number 2. Mr. Jones, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Macy, you've advised and counseled Mr. Jones. Is there any evidence that he's currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Jones, your attorney, Mr. Macy, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Well, yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Mhm.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Jones, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. I will also find that if sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, you do. We do. The agreement is for Mr. Jones to serve 30 days in Jefferson County Jail. I believe he's satisfied that time. And in addition to that, the state will be dismissing cause number 328684, 329996, and 330836.
Okay, now, the state is giving him credit for time served. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
They're giving him 30 days, Judge, and I think he's already done 30 days.
Okay, I'm just looking at the plea agreement. It says 30 days credit for time served and taxing and retiring court costs. That's what's on the plea page, the plea form.
Yes, Your Honor, that is correct. That
Okay.
was the agreement.
Okay, now, Mr. Jones,
Yes, sir.
the state is offering that you serve 30 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not have to serve any more time in the Jefferson County Jail on this case because you've already served 30 days in the Jefferson County Jail. Therefore, you will be given credit for time served. The court cost in this case is $502, but you will not have to pay the $502 court cost because the time that you have served in jail has already paid it off. Therefore, the court cost will be taxed and retired. Mr. Jones, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Jones, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state, and the state will also, Mr. Jones, be dismissing cause number, as part of this plea bargain, cause number 328684, cause number 329996, and cause number 330836. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Jones, again, do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
And do you think it's fair and just?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Jones, you can follow the bailiff. You have a blessed day.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, next. Jerron Sims. Jerron Sims.
Who?
Jerron Sims.
Well,
Okay, just hold on a minute. Court is in session in two cases. First case is cause number 332-154 and cause number 332-266. Both cases are styled the state of Texas versus Jerron Deshard Sims. Mr. Sims, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Sims, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Sims, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Sims, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Sims?
I'm blessed, sir.
That's good. Now, Mr. Sims, you are represented by your attorney, Attorney John Macy, Attorney Macy. Do you waive a record in Mr. Sims' cases?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Sims, I have before me in cause number 332154, a document that is titled Information that has been filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. This information alleges that on or about April 7 of 2022, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of resisting arrest, search, transportation. Mr. Sims, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Sims, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty, sir.
Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Freely,
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
because I am guilty.
Okay, Mr. Sims, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. This document is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. On page 2 of the same document, there are a set of initials, JS, that are on a line next to a box that says guilty. Mr. Sims, did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On the next page of the same document, Mr. Sims, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defender. Mr. Sims, did you also sign this document?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Sims, I have another document before me that is titled Trial Court Certification of Defender's Right of Appeal. At the bottom of this document, there's also a signature that is above the line that's titled Defender. Mr. Sims, did you also sign this document?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this same document, Mr. Sims, there are 2 boxes that are checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you are waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Sims, I also have before me a document on paper that is titled Discovery Certification. There's a signature above the line that's titled Defender. Did you also sign this document?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Sims, before you signed and initialed these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Sims, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1. State, you like to offer States 1?
State would, Your Honor.
Any objections, Mr. Macy?
No objection, Your Honor.
No objections. State's Exhibit Number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Macy, you advised and counseled Mr. Sims. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Sims, your attorney, Mr. Macy, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Sims, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Your Honor, we do have an agreement. And the agreement is that for Mr. Sims to serve 120 days on this charge, this will run concurrent with 332266 and also felony charge number 22-39738.
Your Honor, I thought the plea bargain agreement was for 90 days.
Now, I'm looking at hold on a minute. the paperwork says 120 days.
Does it?
Yeah, I was just going by what the paperwork said there.
I'm sorry. I mean, I may have written it down wrong. Maybe it very well may have been 120. I wrote my note a minute ago based on my memory. For some reason, I thought it was 90, but it very well may have been 120.
90 or 120, I don't think makes any difference as far as where he goes. So
The paperwork is correct, Judge. My memory is not necessarily correct.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Now, do you have a affidavit?
Hey, Judge.
Hold on, sir. Just print it out. Okay, now, Mr. Sims, if you want to say anything, you have a right to remain silent. Anything that you say can and will be used against your code of law. You have an attorney. I can allow you time to talk to your attorney.
I just wanted to ask you something, Judge.
Yeah, but I know, but you need to, you have an attorney, you could talk to your attorney first, and then your attorney could give you some advice on that. And if you want to do that, I can go into recess to give you time to talk to your attorney.
Yes,
You want to
sir.
talk to your attorney?
Yes, sir. I just wanted to ask.
Okay, hold on a minute. Let me get off of YouTube.